crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, you can find your way, babe. Yeah, take a look around you, you can find your way, babe.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you, nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe, find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe, find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that, you and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice payday. You don't wanna say that, you don't want this payback. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments, you had a choice, nigga, own it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. Do something, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All the y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had, stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical.
Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you, nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe, find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe, find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines we find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you, nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe, find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe, find your way, babe.
Yeah, let's go, let's go.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sends. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sends.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full set.
Yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top. Ice cold, no snow drop. Big budget ass, big facts. Big money in the contract. Been running no contact. New record with the new tracks. Yeah, they been sending me new plaques. I don't really need new plaques. Nah, big rock with the suplex. Yeah, new rock got a new flex. Yeah, I'm current, I'm a new trend. Knock boys with the full scent. Yeah, like I said, no new friends. We don't really need new friends.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full set. It's that good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full set.
That's the bad that you made, that's the bad that you made, yeah. Yeah, bad that you made, that's the bad that you made. Aye, Katie, let's go.
All hell King Darius.
That's a bad that you made,
That's the bed that you made.
that's a bad that you laid.
That's the bed that you laid.
Games you play,
What kind of game is you playing?
hard in the paint,
We go hard to the paint you.
fuck is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it,
I only go where they pay.
game is you play.
What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping mollies. I'm so intelligent, my honesty turned into philosophy. I go hard in the paint, the harder I play. Nigga, I'm like Harden on James, a problem to face. I don't wear my heart on my sleeve, just look in my eyes. Nigga, you can do what you need, I do what is right. I don't fucking want what you have, just look at your life. Nothing about it sacred to me, it's out of my sight. That just means it's out of my mind, it's not worth the fight. Nigga, yeah, I'm out of my mind, I'm out of my mind. Hey, you did what you did.
Yeah, you do what you did.
Give a fuck about intentions.
Don't give a fuck about intentions.
You can watch what I do.
You can watch what I do.
Just stay the fuck out my mentions.
Say the fuck out my mentions.
That's a bad that you made,
That's the bed that you made.
that's a bad that you laid.
That's the bed that you laid.
Games you play,
What kind of game is you playing?
hard in the paint,
We go hard to the paint you.
fuck is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it,
I only go where they pay.
game is you play.
What kind of game is you playing?
Hard in the paint,
We go hard in the paint you.
bad that you made,
That's the bed that you made.
bad that you laid.
That's the bed that you laid.
Games you play,
What kind of game is you playing?
hard in the paint,
We go hard to the paint you.
fuck is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying?
Go with it,
I only go where they pay.
game is you play.
What kind of game is you playing?
Hard in the paint,
We go hard in the paint you.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Their taste in wine in general is very poor. No, we gotta be more subtle than that. I don't want them to know that we're thinking about them. What are you doing? Stop it. Dude, stop it. You stop looking, stop.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3010 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Eversting K2, flexing on all you be. All right, fam, welcome to the show. Hit that like button. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. It is Friday, August the dose. It's the first FEF of August. So if you haven't deleted, unfollowed, unsubscribed from all the bullshit and nonsense in your life, today is your chance. Of course, you're not going to unsubscribe from the Mancast. That would be silly of you. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button, share it with your friends. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure you leave a 5-star review. It helps tremendously. So take a moment, pause. And if you usually watch on Rumble, if you usually catch it afterwards, head on over to Spotify, subscribe to the show, and leave a 5-star review. I would love to hear back from you. And thank you for everyone that bangs their ear holes. You could also watch on Spotify, by the way. Anyway, new merch. This is a recent release, STFU and GTTFG. Papa will meet you at the corner of Shut the Fuck Up and Go to the Fucking Gym. Brand new merch. Make sure you go over to papaswolio.com and save 20% off the entire site. I said, wow. The entire site. I said, wow. The entire site. That's right. Absolutely everything is 20% off. So go and check it all out. We also got the brand new bull milk design. I can't wait till I get mine in. You might get it before I do. It's absolutely lit. So make sure that you jump on that bull milk, because if you are going to the gym and you need a brand new nip cover, you want to let everyone know that you are making gains because you are focusing on the most nutrient-dense protein on the planet, and that's bull milk. Hands down, period, end of story. Beef liver can't hold a candle to bull milk. Anyway, if you combine bull milk and you wash down some raw liver with bull milk, my God, are you going to make some gains? All right, fam, let's get into today's episode. We got a lot to get into. Plus, we have overtime right after for members. Join swolenormousx.com, get it on the ground level, be there, and be one of the first people to get the new app that will be launching soon. Of course, maybe a few select members will be invited to test the app, but members will be getting first access for sure, and you'll be the first to be notified here. And of course, if you're not on the email list, we'll talk about that, but you get on the email list and then you'll be notified. So anyway, keep plugged in, stay listening to the show. Keep your ear holes wide open and lubricated. That way you know exactly when it goes live. Now, let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, let's get the first one. Gina.
What's in the box?
En La Casa. By the way, last night's roundtable was fire. So if you didn't catch it, you can listen to it now and catch up on where you might have missed out on if you couldn't stay for the whole thing. But it was great. We went a little bit later than normal, so you have a little bit extra. Some really good programming talk towards the end, the last half hour, so it was great. Gina says, how do you guys and women handle your family dynamic when it comes to nutrition and workouts, when your family has wildly different approaches to food and exercise? In December, my father-in-law died from sudden cardiac arrest at the age of 72. My mother-in-law was left unable to care for herself, so she moved in with me and my husband. When she moved in with us, she couldn't walk. She could only shuffle because she developed bowed legs due to her sedentary lifestyle. I actually learned personal training to help her at home with corrective exercise. I also get her to real physical therapy and acupuncture 3 times a week. Now, she can safely walk, but she is still sedentary and obese. She is always trying to get me to eat more than what my body requires, and she gives me so much shit about my nutrition. However, I am sticking to my lifestyle as much as possible, and I noticed she is getting more conscious about her eating as well. If we are the average of the people we live with, and the people we live with are super unhealthy, is it really possible to stay on top of our game? Yes, but you're going to need to compartmentalize that. So I'm not going to say what I'm thinking in this case, but it's unfortunate and it's a rough situation, but let me guess, she's not working, so how is she buying food? If you, and look, I'm actually going to say what I think. Look, that is called a dependent. That's like your children. I don't know what your situation is with the rest of your family. You just mentioned that. I don't know about your, if you have kids and whatnot, but that's a dependent. She eats what you buy. She's going to eat what you cook, and it's period, end of story. She's the one that can't move. If she expects you to take care of her, then she needs to do as you say. You have an adult child. You have an adult child who obviously is in denial and is going to be pushing back on the fact that she destroyed her body. She destroyed herself. And it's unfortunate, but it's very common with previous generations. Now, they might not have been exposed to the amount of plastics and this, that, and the other, in terms of the shit quality ultra processed food when they were younger. I mean, of course, it was there. And of course, if you're 72, that was what, the 50s. So you're getting a lot of ultra processed stuff, the demonization of fats and this, that, and the other of, saturated fats and animal fats. But you need to set the rules. Your house, your rules. It's that simple. She made the choice that she made, and her body is the result of that. And I'm not saying a nursing home is the answer. I'm not saying it's a better answer, but it's like, take your pick. You do this or you don't live here. That's a tough one. That's some real talk. I'm not saying the application is going to be easy or even possible. So she's unable to, she's a dependent. She's an adult child. She's an old child. That's gross. It's unfortunate when someone is in that much denial and obviously can't move. So how are you? So look, wildly different approaches to food and exercise. Well, if she's not going to exercise or she's barely going to exercise, well, she's going to eat what is made and what is brought into the house. What is brought into the house? She's always trying to get me to eat more than my body requires. You can give her the old STFU. And gives me so much shit about my nutrition. It might take one of those moments where you lay it out. I don't know if you've actually laid this out. I don't know what the shit about your nutrition that she gives you, but you are morbidly obese and you can barely function. You have to stay here because you can't function on your own. You can't survive. If you weren't here, you'd be dead. So you're going to shut the fuck up about my nutrition because I'm taking care of myself and you didn't. So you're going to do this or we're going to put you somewhere else. I don't know. It's harsh. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. You're not going to teach an old dog new tricks. Like unfortunately, it sounds like she's going to be like this until she dies, which is unfortunate. But what you're doing, and I know family is important, but it's still your community. And you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. You can't pick the parents of your husband was. I guess you can when you're choosing your husband or your husband's choosing you. But that was the person that pushed him out of her vagina. You can't choose who your parents are. Some of us are fortunate, some people less fortunate. So you're doing her a favor. That's just the straight up truth. You're doing her a favor. Aside from that, you have to tune it out. You have to make yourself more absent. You have to remove yourself. And when it comes to your community and your sacred space, which is your home, it has to be militant. Your house, your rules. And that's how it works with children. That's how it works with anyone. It's your house. You're allowing a poison into your house. And I know it's his mother, this and the other, but that's what it is. That's what she is. It doesn't matter if you like her or she was okay, or it's still a poison. It's still a toxin. It's still a dramatic inconvenience, but it's just that it's a poison. Straight up. So what do you do with poison? You extract it. But she was also never likely around anyone that took care of their health. So what you said at the end here, I'm sticking to my lifestyle as much as possible. I noticed she is getting more conscious about her eating as well. Okay. So that's a positive. Remember, this person trashed themselves for 70 years. Don't expect a complete 180, you know? It's not going to happen like that, if at all. And that's just the honest truth. The saying, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. It depends. It's hard. It's really hard to do that. So there's that. I would say give two options. You know, oftentimes when it comes to customer service that we deal with a lot, and with anyone, you give people options. They don't feel backed into a corner. You give them two options. Well, I could do this or this. Pick one. It gives them a little bit of a feeling of like a locus of control. I'm choosing two options, but you're controlling the options. So it's like, we could do this or we could do this. Pick one. Obviously, they should both be options that are going to benefit you. But then it gives them the responsibility, like, I'm making this choice. This is my choice to choose this. But you limit the options. Like, these are the two options. We could do this or we could do it this way. That's brutal. That's brutal, though. I feel for you. That would be extremely uncomfortable. Okay, we spent a little bit more time on that, but drop your thoughts in the comments down below. There's really no easy way to answer that. Obviously, when you're in that situation, it's different, but that's your home. So start acting like it. All right, Lorema. Hello, fam. I am new here and very happy about it. I haven't decided which program to follow yet. I have been training at home for 2 years with short periods of absence, but I have not obtained the results that I want, which is to increase muscle mass and reduce my body fat. That's pretty much what everyone wants, right? I have never done yoga before or mobility, but I have been weight training since I was 32. I'm now 36. I have never had a good program. If any of you could help me, I would appreciate it. Currently doing an upper total day and a leg day split. An upper total day and I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a comma there. I don't know if that's a 2 or 3 day split with 1 day rest between sessions, but I've already noticed that to increase the intensity and decrease the volume, I will have to buy more weight because I'm already using everything I currently have at home. And I actually don't have too much. Any advice? Have all of you guys a good day. Okay. Well, you're answering your own question too. You're not going to build muscle unless you could progressively overload. So if you're sitting at home with a pair of dumbbells, 5 pound, 10 pound, 15 and 20, you can only build so much muscle. Fact. You can lift the 20 pounds as slow as you want. Time under tension. That's not how it works. You need more weights. So that's one of your answers. You want to build more muscle. You need to have the ability to load. You can't progressively overload if you can't progressively overload. Period. End of story. So, you know, with a given amount of weights, you're going to have some exercise that it's too heavy, some that's too light, but you need to be able to increase the weight on no matter what exercise. You could do it. You could build lots of muscle with free weights. You can build lots of muscle with machines, cables, bands, whatever, but certain things and certain exercises, certain pieces of equipment are going to be easier to load than others and easier to progressively overload. Bands are hard to progressively overload, especially with certain exercises. You might not have, especially with plates. We talked about this last night. A lot of gyms have maybe 2.5 pound plates. If you've ever really pushed yourself to the limit and you're doing bench or squats, you don't always want to go up 2.5 pounds on each side. Some people think that's nothing. They always want to put on a 10 or a 25. That's a ridiculous increase in load. I put on 1/2 pound plates. I have 1/4 pound plates. I have 3/4 pound plates. I put on 1 pound plates on things all the time. Because if I do 6 reps with 30 pounds and I could do 6 reps with 31, I might not be able to do 35. A lot of people just jump up or they put the next thing on the pin on the machine. They go from 30 to 40 and they can't do as many reps. Of course. So you get a gym pin or something and put on 5 pounds or 2.5 or 1 pound. If I could do 30 pounds for 6 reps and I couldn't do 30, if I did 32.5, I would have gotten 3 or 4 reps. What if I did 31 and got 6 reps? That's progressive overload. It's the same amount of reps with more weight. It's objectively more weight. You might not notice the difference because it's 1 pound. It doesn't sound like a lot, but more is more. And then that 31 becomes 32 or 31.5 or 31.25. More is more. So for Lorama, if you've never done yoga, if you're new, relatively new to lifting, 4 years is still new. If you don't have tons of, I would start with the 90-day dash. That's the best overall program. And then as you get more weights or get a gym membership or this, that, and the other, you can expand to Swole season or Maximum Swole. Maximum Swole, you're going to have access to a lot of weights. You're going to have to. If you're trying to put on muscle, again, if you have limited weights at home, I'm not saying you can't build muscle. What I'm saying is you'll have limitations with how much muscle you can build. And if you have only up to 30-pound dumbbells, they get expensive. You start paying $1.50 or $2 per pound for each dumbbell. It can get pricey over time. The great thing about a home gym is you have the flexibility. You know, the weights don't disappear. So anytime that I've bought any piece of equipment that I've bought, it's never going to go bad. It's not going to be like used up. Oh, I used up all my dumbbells. Now they're gone. I have to buy new ones. Like, as long as I don't throw them against the ground and on purpose destroy them, I'll have them. They'll be fine forever. So you could find cheap things on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. But you need more weights. You're not going to build muscle, or you're not going to build as much muscle as you can if you don't have the ability to constantly increase the weight. The problem with free weights, with dumbbells in particular, so you can get, for example, you can get those, I forget who showed, you can get those dumbbell handles and then buy plates and then add increments. You can get, whether it's 1-inch plates or Olympic plates, you could buy small plates and then you can customize your own dumbbells. That's the cheapest way to add dumbbells. It's just a pain if you're trying to change the weight all the time because you have to pull all the plates off, but it's cheaper than buying individual fixed dumbbells. So if you have adjustable handles, you can have a lot of variety with the same amount of plates. And then you just buy the plates. You don't have to buy individual dumbbells. And it saves a lot of space. If you get a weight tree and you have all the plates on that, and then you have the individual handles, you could put the plates on. It just might take a little time. But if you're doing Swole season or you're doing Maximum Swole, you're also not doing supersets. So 3, 4, 5 minutes between sets, you have time to change the dumbbells and this and the other for a different exercise. But that's the problem with fixed dumbbells. You might notice at some gyms that you go to, some gyms will have 2.5 pound increments. Now, if you buy a dumbbell set and you get 2.5 pound increments, that's even more expensive because you're adding addition and space. So if you have a home gym, unless you have a big space and you like the free weights, you need to have a lot of space for all those dumbbells. So if you go to an LA Fitness or something like that, you might have 15s and then 17.5 and then 20 and then 22.5. You need twice as much space because you have that many more dumbbells. And not to mention, if you go to these gyms and stuff, another problem of going to a gym is a lot of these lighter dumbbells, you can't find them because women take the fucking 10 pounders, they go into the exercise room and leave them there. People, you never see the 5 pounders, you never see the 10s, like they're always just gone or someone's using them. So yeah, microplates can be good. There's different things you can do. There's different ones that you can clip on. I have ones like micro gains. You can snap them onto dumbbells, but I actually don't really like them because then it pinches your hand, and depending on the dumbbell, it actually is uncomfortable to use. So I bought them and I don't use them at all. I think they make them thinner now, but it doesn't really matter what you use. So bands are great too, but I don't use bands often because it's really hard to load them. You can only do certain exercises. For some exercises, they're okay. You know, and then they wear out and they can snap and stuff like that. And I'll use them as like a reverse band to improve the strength profile. Like when I do my Smith machine, I put a red band on it so it slightly decreases the load in the fully stretched position, but not much, just enough to even out the profile. But bands are great for traveling. They're great for certain exercise like tricep. They're great for certain movements and they're great for home training. But again, it's a tool. And there's a reason, if you look at people who are trying to put on as much muscle as possible, what do? They don't use bands for everything. You see bodybuilders and stuff. These are people that are trying to build their body. These are people that are trying to put on as much muscle as possible. And they use machines and for the reason that if you try to put on bands on a machine, you can't even lean into it. You can't anchor yourself. The bench will slide. It's just very uncomfortable to load. But for bicep curls or for triceps or for shoulders, they can be great. Like there's absolutely applications for having them. But again, it's a tool. And if you're a mechanic, you ever did work around your house, you don't always grab the same wrench. You might use duct tape, WD-40, and like a flathead or a Phillips head. There's a couple things you might use more often for, general household things. But then there's certain tools that are specific and you need them for, your AC filters, a special weird little star bolt. And then you have a tool for the application. And if you need it, you have it. So it's not like bands are garbage, but there's a reason why if you're trying to put on a ton of muscle, people aren't always using bands. This is because it's not the best way to load. And the strength profile changes. If you're using bands, it's always more challenging as the band is more stretched. And that's usually not how muscle strength profiles are ideal. A lot of times when the muscle is more lengthened or at the beginning position, you want it to be the hardest rather than getting harder as you stretch the band. So for curls, it's like the exact opposite what you want. So there's issues with it. It usually reverses the strength profile and you're leaving gains on the table. All right, let's get into a couple email responses. We got a few because when we send out an email like this about how soon you can see results, we usually get a lot of responses. So let's read a few. If you want to get on the email list, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. Of course, if you're on that email list, you'll also get notified about the app and stuff like that. So you'll get all the updates if you're on that email list. So let's get into the first response. How soon can you see results? Brian says, hi, Papa Swolio. I just started today and I promise I'll go the next day and the next day. Cool, Brian. Thanks for the update. Brian's going to the gym, everyone. Yay. Yay, Brian. Drew says 3 days this week at the gym, 2 days this week doing cardio. You have my word. Cool. I don't need your word, but you need to have integrity with yourself. So you said that you need to keep that honesty. Because I was asking at the end of the email, the reason why it seems out of context is because I asked, what's your schedule? How often are you training? What's your schedule? What's your programming like? This one's the secret to actually getting results. Janal says, great advice, Papa Swolio. Since you asked about small improvements, I'll share what I'm focusing on. Number 1, neuromuscular proprioception and form. Someone's a personal trainer. Continuing with progressive overload, but making sure I'm mentally all in while increasing the challenge. Then take some time to rest immediately after working out. No noise, just thinking about the workout and feeling my muscles. I usually skip that part. Sounds like a porn. Onlyswole.com. Number 2, adding a workout that includes jumping rope in the morning, fresh air, then some exercise that focus on balance and fine motor control. Sounds like you'd like yoga if you're not doing it yet. Number 3, enjoying movement like dance and playing badminton. Number 4, chill time while lying in the grass, taking in all the smells, sounds and feels, grass flowers, birds chirping, baby birds being fed in the nest. Very nice. There you go. 4 things I'm actively working to improve. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for your crazy encouragement. I like it, Janal. Good for you. Good for you. Excellent. Good for you. Very nice. And one more for the how soon can you see results? Lorenzo says, I promise to do 50 push-ups and 100 sit-ups before the day ends. Cool. You know, I've never been a fan of this, like, I do 100 push-ups a day or 50 push-ups a day. You can, it's effort. Okay. When you start doing 50 push-ups a day, if you've never done it, yeah, you'll get a little stronger. You'll get better at doing push-ups. And then what? You're going to do 75 and then 100. It's just a lot of fatigue. You're just going to stop getting the results. I mean, it's cool. Like 100 sit-ups. I get it. Well, Papa Swolio, it's something. It is something. But that's not an argument, right? So when people say, well, it's better than nothing. Again, I just want to reiterate, we're not here to do better than nothing. That's like me comparing myself to a 3rd grader. Well, at least I have more muscle than that 8-year-old over there. I don't compare myself to an 8-year-old. That's weird. You know, people justify what they do based on like, well, it's better than that person. That person doesn't even work out. They're fat as hell. And they're like, okay, I don't care what that person does. So push-ups are great. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, make sure, you promise to do, you could promise whatever the heck you want. Push-ups. I just want to make sure that people are progressively overloading and challenging themselves. Just don't stop there. That's fine. It's fine. But you get the point. We're not talking about just do something physical. I want people to have some more intent when they train. I want people to have some more direction. Don't just do something physical and go out and just do random shit. Again, from 0, that will get you some progress. You will see results because it's overload. From doing nothing to something, that's progressive overload. But then you have to do more, not volume more, but more resistance, more overload. Again, it depends on what your goal is, but it's good. It's good. Just keep that in mind. I always have to put a check on that. All right. If you want to call into the show, let's get into some knowledge. You can call in at any time, askpapaswolio.com. If you have a live question, drop in the chat right now, #APS. and we'll take live questions as they come in addition to the Instagram. Blaine Houghton on Shitstagram says, where can I buy them bats you have? Dem bats, yo? You can get steel clubs anywhere. If you want the wood ones, you got to go a specific place, but you can get the steel clubs and little smaller ones on Amazon. There's a lot of sites. Rogue, Onnit. Onnit makes good ones. I like the Onnit ones. So there's a lot of places. Steel club, they're called steel clubs. The Martian Returns, 45. Father, how do I improve my bench? We've done this before, unless this guy just asked this question. How do I improve my bench? By improving your form. Make sure you have good form. Execute properly, progressively overload, challenge yourself, go heavier, less reps. Like, form is paramount. So make sure you have good benching form. See, the thing is, like, improve my bench. As long as you're trying to build muscle, people just want to lift more weight, which is cool, but a lot of people aren't trying to put on a lot of muscle. Like, I just want to bench more. It's like this ego thing. Like, who cares what the number is? But improve your bench in terms of what? Just because you want to push more, or do you want to actually build chest muscles? You want to get bigger, hypertrophy, because it's a lot more than just improving your bench. But you need to make sure you have good form. So watch our videos, watch videos online, practice, execute, videotape yourself, make sure you have good form, and then progressively overload. And when it comes to bench pressing, you need to have a good spotter. So you could also use Smith machine. Don't knock and don't think that you need to do free weights. You don't have to do free bar bench. Papa Soy, how much do you bench on a bar? I have no fucking idea, and I don't care. I don't care. If I need to bench a bar, I will. But if you're trying to build muscle, the exercise is kind of arbitrary as long as you're targeting the muscles properly and you're able to progressively overload it. So don't get an ego about, like, I have to get under a bar and push more than, whomever. Donicus sketches. Papa Soy, what's your bicep routine? On upper body days, I'll do 2 sets of biceps. First set's about 5 reps or so. Second set will be, the goal is about 8 reps. So that's it. I have a preacher curl. So I'll do a preacher curl machine. I have 2 of them. So I'll pick one and I'll do the 2 sets on one of the upper days. And on the other upper day, I'll either do the same thing or I'll do alternating dumbbell curls. So I get the supination. So I'll generally do, in a cycle of doing upper, lower, which generally takes about 7 or 8 days, I'll do 4 sets, 4 working sets total. Volmateo, Papa Swolio, how can I make my calves grow? Focus on heavy fucking weight. You don't need a ton of volume. People that think they need to do calves all the time, that's the reason why they don't have any calf progress, is because they just try to spam them. Well, you use your calves all the time, so they can handle more volume. That's actually incorrect. It's still a muscle. It's still a muscle that needs recovery. So you're still going to have the same hypertrophy requirements as any other muscle. So there's that. But in terms of the calves, focus on the stretch. So you don't have to spend time on your tippy toes. You don't have to get all the way up. So you want to hold that stretch for, I hold the stretch for about 4 or 5 seconds. Explode up, get halfway is all you need, like neutral. So your ankle is neutral, and then back down to the stretch and hold that for 3 to 5 seconds. So my first set is still about like 5 reps. I'm trying to load as much as I can. So 5 reps. The second set will be about 8 reps. And sometimes I'll do 2 to 4 sets once or twice a week, like twice a week, on in between my other workout days. And if you have issues loading, just do single leg. Single leg is great for any body part that you're trying to bring up. Single leg is great because you'll get more neural activation, be able to go harder, and you're focused more, and it's also less overload. So I have a donkey calf raise machine. If I want to do both legs, the stack is 400 pounds. Well, I'll talk about the standing. So I have a standing calf raise, and it's a very heavy, old school standing calf raise. It goes up to 500 pounds, but it's not enough. So if I'm doing 2-leg standing calf raise, I need to add a couple 100 pounds. So I have like 2 gym pins on both sides and 45s. It's a pain in the ass to load. And then I have to have 700 or 800 pounds on my shoulders. It's very overloading. It's very taxing. But if I do single leg, I can put like 300 or 220 because it's my body weight plus that. And I could do single leg and it's less fatiguing because of the decreased load or the need for doing a single leg. So for any for any calf exercise and most even machines, you could do single leg and then you're able to focus more. You'll get that neural activation and coordination. At first might be a little rocky, but you'll notice that you're able to get a lot more out of it and it's less stressful. You don't have to put as much weight on your shoulders or on the machine and such. So focus on the stretch. The calves are unique in the sense that they respond better to stretch mediated hypertrophy. There are studies that put people in these like calf boots that kept their ankles a little bit stretched for like an hour a day, and they saw progress, hypertrophy just from keeping the calves more stretched. So even like weighted stretching can be very beneficial. So on days where I'm not training my calves, I'll do like, I have one of these like calf stretch blocks that locks in your heel that you're able to just like hold for longer periods of time. But just make sure that you're holding that stretch. So it's heavy. If you're doing calf raises and you're focusing on the stretch and you're getting to neutral, you'd be shocked. Most people, the reason why they don't make progress is because they don't load their calves properly. They don't load enough. They're not going heavy enough. Because you're just bouncing and going up and down. Or let's say if you're trying to get up on your tippy toes, you're not gonna be able to go as heavy. That's where the calves are the weakest, from neutral to the tippy toe. Like when you get that more plantar flexion. So the calves are very weak there. So usually people try to go all the way up, so they have to drop the load dramatically. So if the calves respond better to stretch mediated hypertrophy, let's say you could do 500 pounds on a machine, going full stretch, holding for 4 or 5 seconds, and then exploding up to neutral. I'm not talking about going slow to neutral. I'm talking about because the weight's so heavy, you're exploding up and you're just getting to neutral. That's a lot of weight. If you tried to get full range of motion all the way up to your tippy toes and then back down, you might have to do 250 pounds. You're doing a fraction of the weight, so you're not getting that stimulus in the most important range of motion for the ankle. You're not getting it from the dorsiflexion to neutral. That'll unlock a lot. NP, my right arm is dominant a bit, stronger than my left, but my left bicep looks bigger. Should I correct this? If you can. Bias the one that you're trying to work on, that you want to bring up, train it do it first, like do single arm. So bicep, whichever arm you want to, whichever one's the weaker that you want to bring up, hypertrophy wise, whatever, you do that one first. And with no rest, you go right to the second one. So prioritize in the superset. That way the second one is a little bit fatigued. Just don't like do one arm, rest for 2 minutes, do the other arm, go from like one to the other, but bias the one that you're trying to focus on the most. And if your bicep looks bigger, is it bigger? Is it actually bigger? Have you measured? Do you actually know? Okay, somebody 1884, CrossFit thumbs up or thumbs down? A lot of people like it. I give it a thumbs down. I would never recommend it to anyone. A lot of people do it, and I'm not going to shit on them for doing it. I always come back to, what are you trying to accomplish? Most often what people are trying to do, CrossFit's not the answer to do it. We talked about a lot last night, doing muscle ups and shit that you can easily tear your fucking shoulder out of the socket. People want to feel exhausted. It's tons of cardio. Mostly it's lifting for cardio. So high risk of injury, no real program design, very hard to be consistent with it long term, especially for... So, I mean, in general, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I know a lot of people do it. And a lot of people that do CrossFit buy the merch and they wear it in the gym. It's like, cool. Like I'm glad that people are going to do what they're going to do. But if someone's asking me like, hey, should I do CrossFit? I'm going to say no. This is how I'm going to respond to it. I don't recommend it to people, but I'm under no delusion like people are going to do it anyway. Adam, is there any way to work hamstrings without any equipment? Assuming the squat is for quads. Yeah, squats are going to be quad dominant, quad and adductor. So you're not going to work hamstrings during like a leg press, or I've talked generally, a lot of people think it's their hamstrings, but it's really their adductor. It's like the adductor magnus, the posterior adductor. So if you go into a deep squat, you're getting adductor and quads. There's certain ways where you can maybe hit a little bit more glute, but you don't do squats for glutes. Squats are going to be for quads. So without any equipment, yeah, you can do like bridges, with a ball. That's minimal equipment. You have your heels up on a bench and kind of do like isometrics and stuff like that. It's just going to, I mean, you can do Nordic curls. I wouldn't say that's zero equipment, but someone can hold your heels, or you can get one of those things and hook your feet under a bed, or a couch that someone's sitting on, and you could do Nordic curls. That's very hard, but you can makeshift something that can do Nordic curls. So I would say Nordic curls. I mean, you can have equipment for Nordic curls, but you can have someone hold your ankles, and you can get a strap. They have Nordic straps where you can put on a bench or a belt. I mean, you can makeshift different things. Just be careful. So I would recommend, in that sense, Nordic curls, or figuring out a way to like rig. And you can go on YouTube or something and look up people that do Nordic curls at home. Figure out. People always do DIY Nordic curl. Maybe you have something at home and you have some wood, and you can do this, or hook this under your door. And there's certain things that you can do that maybe would target that. So I'd recommend looking into that. The True Silver rear shock, Papa Solio, free weights or machines? Both. They're both great. Again, what's your goal? Are you trying to, so for me, I don't have an ego about what equipment I use. I was talking about this last night on the round table. I used to only use free weights. So machines are for pussies. If you want to build muscle, you got to use free weights. That's absolutely not true. That was just my mindset for like the beginning of when I was lifting. I used to watch Pumping Iron over and over again, and all these other old school lifters, just fucking barbell. And yeah, they use some machines, but they're not doing chest press machines. They're usually just doing heavy barbell and dumbbell exercise. So that's what I did for the beginning portions of my lifting. But the bottom line, if you want to build muscle, if your goal is to build muscle, then it doesn't matter how. Do the things required to build muscle. So you need something that's stable, that's going to target the muscle properly, that you can progressively overload over time. So that's why I was talking about with bands, not a great strength profile for most body parts, hard to progressively overload, hard to anchor, hard to hit certain body parts with them. So they might be good for certain things, but maybe not for all things. Machines can be good or bad. There's some machines that are going to be better than others. Some you might feel better. They might fit you better. They might be more adjustable. They might have a better strength curve or strength profile where the weights are heavier where they should be and lighter where they would be optimal for the mechanical tension. And free weights are the same thing. So certain exercise with free weights, there's tension at the bottom. Let's say you're doing flies, or let's say you're doing a chest press. You go down here, you push up, and you're coming together. It's like there's nothing up here. There's no tension when you move your hands towards, together. So as you push together, you're losing tension on the chest. Same thing with flies. You do dumbbell flies, heavy at the bottom and then, light at the top. You're pulling together, but there's no resistance when you come together. That's why a pec deck machine is consistent with, it kind of evens out the curve and it'll hit the muscles differently. One's not necessarily better than the other. They're different. And that's why that variety, or mixing it up, or having that option, is beneficial. Same thing with the machine for chest. Objectively, if you have a converging chest press machine, you have to push the handles together. So there's tension pushing together because the machine, or the cable machine, or whatever it is, like the weight stack, is resisting all the way. Whereas with the free weights, there wouldn't be overload there. Sassy Shine says, or asks, machine helps with correct form. I don't think it helps necessarily with correct form. It might standardize it, but there are a lot of people that use machines improperly. So a lot of people will set up for a chest machine and the seat will be too high, or it'll be too low, or they'll move their butt off, or they'll slouch and they don't have their good elbow position. So just because the machine might move on a track doesn't mean that the person is lined up properly. So you still need to understand proper positioning for a given machine too. Sam Leby, Papa Solio, please share your hair secrets. Oh, if I did, then they wouldn't be secrets. Papa's got some secrets. You know what I'm saying? I got secrets. We got something in the works along those lines. Not in the hopefully in the near future, but I'm excited. So we've talked about that stuff a lot. Skyfall 911, Papa Solio, how do I overcome laziness? By setting good habits and executing. What would someone who's not lazy do and do those things? If I was going to think of myself, I'm not lazy. Like, what do you do? It's that simple. We talked about yesterday. Aaron asked on the roundtable, he asked Papa Solio, how do you go about creating a program? And I said, I start with the goal. What do I want this program to accomplish? And then I think back, and then I go backwards. I'm like, okay, I want this program to be about building muscle. Okay, who's this program for? And then what versatility do I need in the programming? So it starts with the goal. What do I want to achieve? And then this program is going to be built around building muscle. Well, what does it take to build muscle? It takes progressive overload. Okay, what are some different splits that I can offer people so they can choose based on their needs? Like what, this and the other. So experience and the goal. So what would you call someone who's not lazy? Active, disciplined, consistent? Okay. So Skyfall 911, what does the best version of yourself do? So right now you're a lazy fuck. Okay. If I wasn't a lazy fuck, what would I be doing? Well, I'd be getting up at 6 a.m. to go to the fucking gym. So do that. It doesn't have to be 6 a.m., but like, oh, that's what I would do. Ideally, I would love to do it. Nothing's stopping you. You're just stopping yourself. So get out of your own way. I would check out Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art. It's a great book to overcome and unfuck your own mind because you're the only one standing your own way. There's no answer like, how do I overcome laziness by not being lazy? Papa Soyo, how do I get consistent by being consistent? Like there's no other answer but like just doing the things how would I be consistent? I would do this every day, then do that every day. It's just an answer you don't want to hear. Oh, the magic pill that will help you. Come on, man. Corey Williams, in your opinion, what is the best breakdown for workout days? None. There's no best breakdown. Depends on what your goal is, how frequently you're training, and the intensity. So there's no best breakdown. But in my opinion, for the vast majority of people, especially natural lifters that need to maximize progressive overload, it would be a full body split. But I prefer an upper lower split. I think most people would be better off doing an upper lower split. You can do it full body. I've dabbled with that. I mean, if I have limited time or I'm not gonna be able to lift for a few days, something's coming up and I have to travel and I'm just going to do a full body workout before I go there's applications for it, but upper lower is my favorite right now, but there's no best. That's just what I'm currently doing. Pandemonium says sometimes starting small helps. That's what she said. You definitely don't want to start off with the knowledge cock. That's going to be too much. This is why I'm often concerned. I feel like I should create a separate podcast that's kind of like, the Daily Swole, call it like first timers, Daily Swole for virgins. And then we kind of like, I'll post a couple things like, here's a virgin episode. It's like, hey, you should be eating better, make better decisions, kind of like Mr. Rogers, but the Daily Swole. So like, you get used to it and then you go to the Daily Swole and then you go to the knowledge cock and then you can get stretched out and feel fine. But it's definitely going to be uncomfortable if you're new to the show. Oh, there's more to the comments. If you have a large amount to do, it can be daunting and you might not be as likely to do it. Well, actually, my answer covered that as well, so you're welcome. NP, Papa Solio, stupid question. No worries, par for the course. I bought castor oil and I have no idea how to use it. I remember you mentioning it before, but I don't fully recall. Neither do I. I think Mama Solio recommends that. Castor oil can be great for your skin, great for your hair, good for cysts potentially. You can put it on your nails, like your cuticles and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's what she would recommend, but I'd have to check with her. Oh, let's see. Okay, we're good. Balls deep. Ew.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's deep.
Attacks on, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
All right. It's a beautiful day in the fucking gym. A beautiful day in the fucking gym. Will you train? All right, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Balls deep. It's time for some shit post. Don't be a beesh. If you are sensitive, this is the time to turn off the show, but you're not going to turn it off because you're not a huge pussy. Hashtag FEF, fuck 'em Friday. We got overtime coming up in just a few moments. Only for members. Join us on enormousx.com. Let's get into it. Pick a number. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be 2? Or fuck it, will it be 3? Why not? Positive charisma, number 2. Let's just do it. This one is called... No. We're doing... No. Positive charisma. I'm going to save that one. No, I just looked at it. We can't do that first. If you only want to do one video, we're doing that one. We're not doing it first. So I'm going to call an audible here. I'm going to go with Diego Mueller, number 3. No, we'll do it. But PK, you'll see. No, I'm not doing that first. I want to do more than one video. I'm not doing that one first because then we're done. All right, this is not better. I look, the fact that this one is called Showering with Young Girls. Jesus Christ. FBI, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. This is not my video. Don't just fly. This one's called Showering with Young Girls. I don't know what it's going to be about, but that's what the title of the video, my folder is. So maybe they'll give you some context as to how bad the other one was. Okay.
I honestly had no fucking clue that it was even possible for a 12-year-old girl to develop an attraction to a full-grown adult man.
What?
If you had asked me at the time, I would have told you no. The only way that that would happen is if some pervert was chasing the girl.
What?
The girl would never pursue an adult man.
It's satire?
I now know differently. I did not know what the fuck was going on until I was in the fucking middle of it.
What?
That girl snuck into the shower when I was fucking naked.
What?
I didn't know that she was attracted to me until my hand was on her vagina.
What?
The reason my hand was on her vagina is because she put it on her vagina. I did not pursue that girl. That girl pursued me. When I sat there on the kitchen table and fucking told her, there is no fucking way this is gonna happen, sister. No fucking way. You gotta get over this shit. I sat there and fucking told her, no way, and she sat there and bawled her fucking eyes out. She told me, my boyfriend is breaking up with me. And I said, no, I am not your fucking boyfriend.
Is this real? Or I can't tell anymore. That doesn't seem real. I don't know, I can't tell if it's real or not. I mean, if it is, that's, I don't know. The fact that that was just wait till we do the last one that I didn't want to do, and you'll be like, oh, that's why. Look, on the surface, that looked better. Is that real? Is that real? It doesn't matter if you have this weird, damaged 12-year-old that's like, actually, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have a weird, damaged 12-year-old coming onto you, it's like, yo, like, that's some serious trauma, and that's fucked up. If that happens, I'm sure it does. You have, all right, this is fucking shit. Whatever. Hot take. This one's called Hot Take.
What's in the box?
Okay. That guy.
I have a hot take to share that's not actually a hot take, but people will think it's a hot take because they're offended and or feel judged by it.
So it's not a hot take then. So shut the fuck up. Why are you calling it a hot take? I have a hot take. That's not really a hot take. And people are going to think it's a hot. Then it's a cold take. It's a lukewarm take. I don't like this take. This take sucks.
Using the word obese or obesity, especially if you're talking about a fat person.
Obese.
But just in general, just don't use the word obese or obesity to talk about fat people or fat bodies.
Obese.
Because we are not a disease.
Obese.
We are not scientific experiments. We are people.
No, you're not a scientific experiment, but you're pushing the bounds of humanity. So obese, 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 obese. You look obese. From this angle, you look obese.
If you want to talk about a fat person, you can call them a fat person, a person of size,
a person of size. Yeah, I'll call you a piece of shit. You're a POS. I'll call you a POS. Did they think that through? I'll call you a POS. I'm down. You're a POS. You are a POS. Sold. All right, we agree. Look, we agree. We agree.
Size individual, etc. You do not have to use the word obese. It is not an accurate term to discuss human beings or their bodies.
I'm done with it. I'm done. Yo, I am done with obese. I mean, I'm still going to use obese. Obese. I'm going to use it right now, actually. Obese. I love how they're like, you can call us a fat person. You know, obese is actually a medical term because you've trashed your body to the point where it just can't process sugar anymore and you fuck up your liver and all that stuff, or pancreas, right? Insulin. I love how it's like, you shouldn't call us obese, call us fat. Okay, you're fat. Oh, but now you're calling us fat. It's descriptive. You're obese, you're also fat. I'll call you a POS though. I am so down for that. I do not think this was thought through. You are a POS.
In addition, on the mid-size post, a couple folks said, well, I
God.
identify as mid-size because I'm not obese and I'm not skinny. And I
If you call yourself mid-size, you are morbidly obese. Straight up. People don't want to address what I consider to be obese. You ain't gonna like that one, fam. If you call yourself a minivan or a mid-size, that you're obese. Obese.
think to me that's a red flag.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, well, you're definitely you're POS. That's for sure. I love how that's an argument. You're a POS. I don't agree. I mean, I agree. You are a POS. You're an absolute POS. Okay. Last one. Who's ready for overtime? Yeah. All right, hit the like button, share the video. Fam, if you're on Rumble, make sure you exit out of the chat for a second and hit that thumbs up button. It helps tremendously. I know we're only going to get a fraction of the thumbs up. I don't know. Some people are allergic to giving thumbs up. Like, no, I won't let anyone know that I like this video, but you'll watch it for an hour and a half. But you have to, unfortunately, you don't have the same integration. Rumble's not up to the same as YouTube yet, but you just hit the X out of the chat and then you can see it and then you can come back into the live chat. So if you do that, it helps tremendously. This one is horrific. This one's called I'm a Little Trans Girl. I am a little trans girl. You ready? Yeah. If you're eating, I know it's 1 o'clock. If you're eating or you're sensitive, do not watch this video. Okay. I'm telling you, I am doing you a favor. You've been warned. You can turn off this video if you do not want a jump scare. All right, here we go.
I'm a little trans girl, small and cute. These are my pigtails, yes, they're real. When I get all steamed up, I can pout. That tip me over part sounds kind of inappropriate though. So I'm going to stop the song there and keep it kid-friendly. For all my young followers out there, stay proud, stay beautiful, and stay kind. Bye.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Jesus Christ. It's not even... I don't know, man. Look, if you're going to mount your phone, don't turn your AC up to 11. I couldn't hear anything, which is fine. You're not a little trans girl. You're an old fucking retard that is just mentally damaged. Like, these people need to be insane. They need to be in insane asylums. These are people that cannot be part of society. They just can't. They can't function. No matter how good the food is, education system, whatever, you're always going to have a fringe of people whose brains don't work and they're just not fit to be around the population. That's not racist. That's not ableist. That's just a fact. You're always going to have people that are just insane. Their brains didn't fully form. There's something wrong with them. I'm not saying throw them off into the ocean, but they need medical attention. They need to be in a place where they can be taken care of and removed from society, because that's not how we move forward. We can't pander to mental illness. All right, we got a Swole card to give away, but we have overtime, so make sure that you are heading over to the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Brand new Drive Mall Gaining and Balls Deep edits. Let's give away the Swole card. It is FAF. It is fucking Friday. Ya heard, Freddie? Let's fucking give away the Swole card. Freddie, you crazy fucking bird. Winner chicken dinner. Today's Wiener. It is going to Rona Woods. Congratulations. Rona's a little trans girl, short and bleh. I'm just kidding. Rona, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3010 in the subject or mailing address. In the body of that email. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Congratulations, Rona. And we'll get you that Swole card ASA to the P. By the way, fam, look at this little tainty man. Aww. Mr. Tainty Boy. Hello, Mr. Mustard. He's my mustard man. He's a good boy. Okay, the Tainty Boy wants to go into overtime. So let's get into it, fam. Are you ready for some OT? I think you are. All right, OTZ my kneesies. Fam, head on over to swolenormousx.com to get access to all the exclusive live streams. You're missing out on a lot. Plus, we have the app dropping soon, so you want to be first You want to be first on the download list, don't you? Don't you want to be the first to be notified to download the greatest app in the realm? Of course you do. So head on over to swolenormousx.com, join the fam today, and your nips are going to be tickled pink. We're heading into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Let's get after it. It's time for a little overtime, and we'll see you over there. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for make sure you subscribe to the podcast for the episodes over the weekend, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Keep an eye out for Swole Text because I'm going to be asking you some questions and giving you a lot of awesome answers. So make sure you check out those episodes on the weekend. I think you'll truly enjoy it. But you have to be subscribed to the podcast. So Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you're banging your ear holes. Thanks for being here. Love you, beaches. And let's get into overtime. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
I just wanna win on the low, like you making demands. I said, whoa.
He's heating up.
I just wanna win on the low, like yeah. Ask me where I've been. I said, whoa, like yeah.
He's heating up.
Demands. I said, whoa.
He's heating up. He's on fire.
I just wanna win on the low.